but across the area here, we are looking clear and calm. Now, watches and warnings and advisories up into our northwest, they are getting some flood watches and warnings, even a severe thunderstorm warning here and there. So they will have to account for that as the cold front does push in. But down here, looking good in terms of the weather conditions. Now, our futurecast does show maybe an isolated storm later this evening. But as we do move on to the next couple of days, Friday into our weekend, we are staying relatively dry. So it is a good day, a good weekend to get outside, support your Seminoles as they take on Syracuse at Syracuse. So don't have to go out to Doak Campbell, but if you want to go outside this weekend, it looks good. Again, Saturday, 8 p.m., still rain to our northwest, so we are not expecting that to impact our area anytime soon. Tonight's forecast, lower 60s to even low 70s down south. It is feeling like summer, unfortunately sticking around for those that are anticipating winter and fall, but the fall should be coming in a couple of days. We will see more of those cooler temperatures, even possibly some 50s into our lows again, so we'll have to keep an eye out for that. But tomorrow's forecast, as we've been mentioning, 90s across the board, some upper 80s, so it's going to be muggy, it'll be warm, uncomfortable. The summer conditions are back for those that like the warmer temperatures, so you can go out inside and enjoy it. No rain to speak of. It is a little bit less humid out there, so it won't feel as bad as we were back in June and July. Now, the weather headlines, the mild morning that we have been having, it's been a kind of a warm morning. Summer-like weekend, so we will have a warm weekend. It'll be a good weather weekend, though, and our rain chances next week will be increasing as a cold front does make its way into our area. So our satellite and radar right now not showing very much whatsoever, and our current temperatures even 88 degrees right here. So looking pretty good, just some warm conditions right now. And I guess we're looking at the tropics, the next storm system. Troublemaker arrives Tuesday, and that'll bring in some cooler temperatures hopefully into our area. We should find out next week.
We should. And guess what else is happening to us next week?
What, Paxton?
We are getting a cold front.
Cold front!
So that anticipation of fall and winter, your wishes and dreams are coming true next Monday to Tuesday.
Unfortunately for us, like the warm weather, not sticking around for too much longer, it doesn't look like, but couple more days.
I hope so. I'm tired of this hot and the heat and everything sticking around.
I agree. But you know what, Paxton, we know what else is important?
What? Tell me, Connor.
Thursday. It's Throwback Thursday. So in order for our love of fall, we have to bring back the fall dance. Do you remember how it goes?
I do. Do you?
I do. Ready? And the fall dance.
We're falling.
This
the
is
fall
the fall
leaves
dance.
are falling.
The fall leaves are falling. So you can always bring it back.
We could. It's never too late to bring that back.
No, not at all.
But we're going to see if there's any more hints of fall around the nation with Matthew.
That's right, guys. We do have some hints of fall around the nation, but we also have the hints of summer as well. Really seeing that dividing line. We're looking at our current temperatures around the nation. You can see that spot right where the cold temperatures and the warm temperatures meet. And we're going to talk about this in a minute, but we do have a lot of severe storms impacting the central part of the country because of this clash of the warm air and the cold air. So as you can see up in Minneapolis, it's really feeling quite cool and fall-like. But the 24-hour temperature change, Denver, you're really seeing a lot in the way of cooler temperatures. Some snow is actually falling, so some ski slopes starting to get some paint on them, painted white that is. And we're actually up 2 degrees above what we were yesterday. So we're really not feeling it down in the southeast. But the central part of the country, they are feeling these cooler temperatures. Satellite and radar, as we look at the country, really you can start to see this definition of the intersecting of the warm air and the cool air. You see these severe storms impacting Missouri. And then you also have a little bit of the remnants of what was Tropical Storm Simon. So Simon says there is going to be some rain over Denver and some snow as well in the mountains. Let's take you on a satellite tour, and this is what it looks like around our area. Really nothing to talk about, just sun, get outside. As we were talking about in some of the other local sections, it's really just a beautiful day out there. Pushing on over to Texas and other parts of the southeast, it's really looking nice, a lot of sun and clear conditions, and this is where we start to see the remnants of Simon. Right here, we see little hints of snowfall popping up on radar into that mountainous area. So some skiing forecasts are going to be looking better. And here we go, we're looking into the severe thunderstorms now. We actually have a severe thunderstorm warning that just popped up just south of Jefferson City in Missouri. So you might want to watch out there as this really strong lines, this squall line starts to push through and into Arkansas. Now we're bringing it back home it's clear. It's a beautiful day. So just get on outside, and if it's a little too warm for you, definitely drink some water, stay hydrated, because you could lose some water quickly. Now here's the watches and warnings we're looking at. We got some wind chill advisories, we got cool weather to the north of us, we have the severe storms here, and we also have the remnants of Simon out here in Colorado. So that's really what's causing all these headaches right now in most parts of the country. Airport delays, they look like this. Atlanta, Hartsfield, you're the busiest airport in the world. You've got 23 minutes delays, which is understandable being the busiest. And San Francisco, you also have 23 minutes because you are also a very busy airport, not really associated with much rain in those areas, but a lot of really just flight conditions and busy forecast. Here's tonight's forecast. We have the almost just above freezing here in Minneapolis. The north is feeling fall, and the south is really feeling that heat. And tomorrow looks like this. It's going to be warm in the southeast and cool in the north. But now let's send it over to Paxton for our next local.
Thanks, Matt. Today, currently it is 88 degrees, it's partly cloudy, and those dew points are 64 degrees. So it is back up there. We are experiencing our summer-like weather yet again, but our humidity is only at a low 45%, which is great for us out there, great for us ladies in our hair. We all like these low humidity values. Shows our lack of moisture in our atmosphere. Currently, it's 88 in Tallahassee. As you look around the board, there are high 80s, low 90 temperatures in our area. And you can see that Quincy, it's peaking at 95 degrees. Could just show you how hot it is getting today, and that these summer temperatures are sticking around, and they will be staying for a little bit longer, and this will be changing as we get on into next week. Dew point values, they're in the low 60s, and in some areas like Wilma, they are in the low 70s. So these dew point values, they are getting back up there, like summertime temperatures again, and we are in fall right now, so it's something we don't really want. We want to feel that sense of fall, the pumpkins, all that great stuff, the cool air, everything like that. Satellite radar showing it is clear around the whole region. Florida's clear, Montgomery, Alabama's clear, Georgia's clear. All these states and cities, surrounding counties from Tallahassee, we are clear, showing you that this high pressure that's off to the east coast of us, it is dominating our weather right now, and that will be moving offshore later on, but that will be replaced by a new high pressure system. Like I said, here's the high that is just north of us. It will be coming offshore, and that will be then later replaced by a new high pressure system coming from the north and creating that warming trend for us yet again, bringing in all that sunshine and all that drier air for us for these next couple of days. But eventually this high pressure system, that will be leaving us to bringing in some cooler weather later on into next week, around Tuesday. For tonight, we have the low 60s, mid 60s everywhere. Clear and calm, not much wind going on in our area. So it'll be a great night to go outside, have some fun, enjoy the outdoors. And you could go see that full moon that is in our area yesterday and tonight. For tomorrow, it is 90 in Tallahassee, so we are experiencing the summer weather, those summer-like temperatures, those mid 90s. So you want those 80s and upper 70s, you just have to wait a couple more days for those to come into our area. Our 7-day, you can see 90, 90, 86, and then 82 on Tuesday with a 60% chance of rain. So those rain chances are coming back, and that is due to the cold front. And then as you look into Wednesday, you can see that there's a low of 57 degrees. So that will be fantastic for us. But for now, we're going to hand this on over to John and Matt at the desk.
Thank you, Paxton. It's good to know that we have a cool down coming later on in the forecast, but first, this weekend is coming up, and we have a few activities to talk about.
Yeah, there's actually quite a few events going on. We'll get to more of those later in the show, but there's one we want to highlight tonight.
That's right. We want to talk about Science Saturday. It's coming this Saturday. It's at Lake Ella.
Yeah, it's from 10 a.m. until 2 p.m. down at Lake Ella. It's free for everyone, and if you want to get yourself educated on all sorts of sciences, head on out to Lake Ella.
Yep, we will be having, we'll be there. There will be many other parts of the FSU community there, the FSU Mag Lab, and the Tallahassee Astronomical Society as well.
Yeah, a couple of the museums will be down there. All sorts of different sciences, geology, meteorology ourselves, astronomy will be out there. Lots to happen this weekend all over town.
Yep, it'll be a lot of fun and certainly be really awesome a learning experience for many of us out there. But for now, we're going to throw it over to Paxton, who's going to talk a lot around what's going on around Florida.
I sure am, and I'm back. Did not go very far, so I'm here to tell you more about Florida this time. And the satellite, it's still not changing. There's still nothing popping up within these past minute and a half from last time. So it's still nice and clear in our area. And currently your temperatures, they are still the same. It's still 88 degrees in Tallahassee. And that sun and those clouds, they are still in our area, and that will be clearing up throughout the night. And our dew points are still, they are still muggy. 64 in Tallahassee. We have 70 all the way up in Pensacola, so this mugginess is sticking around. But even though it is muggy, our humidity is still not that high. We are still below 50% generally in all of the Big Bend region, which is fantastic for us. Water vapor is showing that we do have some dry air in this area, but we have moisture to north of us and to the south of us. But in Tallahassee, we are not feeling the effects of this moisture right now, which is great, and we all like that. For radar, it's nice and clear. We did have a few pop-up showers in Apalachicola around 4 or 5 o'clock earlier today, but that has dissipated. That has already dissipated, so right now it is all clear in our area. It's a nice time to go outside and enjoy this weather because it will not be lasting for long going into next week when we will be needing those rain boots and those umbrellas back for the opening of next week. In northern Florida, it's still nice and clear. There's no clouds, there's no rain. It's just all of Florida for once there's no rain anywhere, which is actually something pretty neat for us. So you could go in Tallahassee, you could go to the beach. If you're all the way in Miami, you could go to the beach as well. It's just a great time to go outside, enjoy it, because this does not happen very often. Central Florida, it is clear yet again, and going into South Florida, it will be clear once more. And there are some showers off into the Keys area, but that is offshore, not affecting anything on land and anything towards people. As we move on through the future cast, you can see that we do have a slight chance of rain in this area for tonight, and that will be all moving on, going around Florida basically. We have some showers off to the East Coast, and then we have some Gulf showers as well. Everything's basically avoiding Florida. So we have that big bubble of no trouble staying in our area, and we do have some showers popping up to the west right over here, but yet again, those will not be reaching Florida into our area. For tonight, low 60s, 64 in Tallahassee, and then we have 69 in Pensacola, so we do have those mild temperatures, and they will be sticking around for the next couple of days. And for Friday, we do have a high of 90 in Tallahassee, and we have 90s and 80s around the board in Florida, and that will be the trend for these next couple of days. But for right now, we are going to hand this on over to John.
It's time to start talking tropics. It is still hurricane season, although the last month or so there hasn't been anything out in the Atlantic. Almost kind of forget about hurricane season this time of year with it being so quiet, especially this year. But there's something going on off towards the Leeward Islands. Here's the island of Puerto Rico down there, and here is a system that is starting to brew up towards the north, and this is going to bring some impacts to the island of Bermuda in a couple of days. Right now, the National Hurricane Center is bringing this up to a 50% chance of development. So you flip a coin, and that's the best chance you've got for development over the next 5 days. But what's interesting about this system is there's plenty of moisture down towards the south. It kind of acts like an umbilical cord to this meteorological baby out here, and it's going to head off towards the north. And if this system can really bring in a lot of moisture, we could see some development with this system. The next name on the list is Faye, and that could be over the next couple of days. As I said, this system is going to be pushing off towards the north, and that's because of that cold front that came through late last week. And this is still just off to our east here in Florida, but it's going to guide the system up towards the north and back out to sea. So no real impact to land in terms of the United States or the Caribbean, but again, a couple of inches of rain in Bermuda. The island of Bermuda is expected there, but no impact to the United States. Off towards the west, actually, here's that name list. We've all made it all the way through Edouard. The next name on the list is Faye, and if we make another system into November with the hurricane season lasting all the way until the end of November, Gonzalo is the name following Faye. But turning it back to home, we're sitting at 88 degrees, plenty of sunshine across the tri-state area, clear and 82 degrees in Panama City. It's going to be a great weekend to head out to the beach or down to St. George Island or down into Central Florida. Just a few clouds passing through the area just north of our area where there's just a little bit more moisture. And there's a weak frontal boundary pushing down through the Jacksonville area, getting a little bit cooler in Jacksonville and a little bit cooler yet up into Savannah. And some cooler conditions and some drier conditions could allow some places to drop into the 70s over the next couple hours along the Georgia coast. Winds out of the south here in Tallahassee right now, bringing in that warm air around high pressure, which is located off towards our northeast. Clockwise flow around that high pressure system will bring in the warm temperatures, upper 80s to low 90s over the next couple of days. And unfortunately, a little bit more moisture as well. At 64 degrees, our dew point starting to feel a little bit sticky outside, and it's feeling quite sticky in Panama City, where the dew point is about 10 degrees higher in Panama City. If you're heading to the beach, as I recommend tomorrow, you're going to be dealing with some smooth surf. Water temperature still on the warm side at 81 degrees with a high UV index and awesome conditions. Really get outside this weekend. 64 degrees. It's going to be fantastic for a run. And then tomorrow we're looking like the low 90s in Tallahassee. It's going to be a fantastic weekend. Go out for all of the festivities this weekend.
That's right. It's going to be great. Thank you for that tropical update. It's always good to know that we still are in tropical hurricane season, so we have to stay aware.
Yeah, actually, the southwestern United States has been dealing with a lot of tropical systems. They've had 3 so far this season.
Yep, they had Norbert, Odile, and Simon, and they have really been bringing in a lot of that rain showers. It's really been causing a lot of flooding issues.
Yeah, their rainy season out there is typically ends in early to mid-September, and these systems came in after that. So they actually got some flooding out there because of these abnormal systems.
Yep, and it's even causing a lot of issues in our country right now, as we talked about before, a lot of rainfall that's really occurring right now.
A lot of that rainfall gets wrapped right up into the Central Plains and brings in severe weather sometimes this time of year.
Yes, and severe weather is very important to stay aware of, and we try to keep everyone aware as much as we can.
Yeah, now there's nothing like that anywhere near Florida, just a lot of sunshine. Connor, tell us when we're going to get maybe a couple drops of rain, we're hoping?
We're hoping, but unfortunately we'll have to wait a couple of days before we see any drops of rain. Right now, today and tomorrow, and for the rest of the weekend, we're looking at sunny skies all across the southeast. Upper 80s to near 90 degrees tomorrow and into the weekend. So those summer conditions that we've been talking about are going to be sticking around. Luckily, it's not going to be as muggy, though. So as you go outside, it will be a nice day out there. And it will be warm, so make sure you drink plenty of water if you're out there, but rain should not be interfere with any plans if you have them outside. Now today's almanac, we made it to a high of 89, are quite above the average of 83, but luckily nowhere near that record of 95. And tonight we were looking at a low in the lower 60s, so again, it's going to be a mild night, not too cool, not too hot. So it will be another type of fall evening. Now current temperatures right now, 80s across the southeast, 88 here in the capital city, 82 in Wilma, and a little bit cooler towards the coast where they do have that onshore flow due to the high pressure system that is currently dominating our weather pattern. Now, right now, we have talked about the humidity out there, and the dew point is a good indication of the humidity, with the lower 60s right here in Tallahassee being able to lower those humidity values and feel a little nicer, more like fall outside, as opposed to those upper 70s and near 80-degree dew points we had just a couple of weeks ago. Now, satellite and radar right now, again, clear as clear could be. Going to be a beautiful night. See that full moon that Paxton talked about earlier? We did have that blood moon yesterday, so if you were outside, a little foggy if you were here in Tallahassee, but some great pictures from online that you could see of the big blood moon. Now, our satellite and radar across the southeast and across clear. A little bit of activity down towards the Keys, and we see this whole bunch of activity to our north over there. In the Plain States, they are experiencing some thunderstorms associated with a low pressure system and another cold front that will not be making its way here just yet, but I will be getting into our weather picture in a couple of days. Now, our futurecast tells us what's going to be coming in the next couple of days, and we can see this high pressure is influencing our weather. It will move off to the east, and then it will be replaced with this other high pressure system that is coming down from the northwest, but this will increase our temperatures. High pressure means sinking air, and sinking air means warming air. So we will be anticipating summer-like temperatures over the next couple of days with that southerly flow coming in. Maybe an isolated shower, can't rule it out, but looks like it's going to be mostly dry here in the Tallahassee region. Now tonight's forecast, we are clear and calm, possibly foggy in the morning again, so if you are going out, use those low beams, no high beams on the road tomorrow morning. Low to mid 60s overnight, and tomorrow another warm one, 90 degrees, but abundant sunshine, so a great day to be outside if you're going to be out Landis Green for enjoying your Friday activities. Now, the 7-day forecast, we can see those 90-degree temperatures for the first couple of days into our weekend with that big rain chance on Tuesday at 60% with that cold front, and then lower temperatures back to fall come Wednesday and Thursday. Are you guys looking forward to fall there at the desk, Jonathan and Matt?
I'm looking forward to the fall, but I'm not looking forward to some of the severe weather that comes in this time of year.
Absolutely. Severe weather associated with these cold fronts can be a major issue.
Yeah, we get a lot of the wind events here in North Florida and South Georgia where they bring in a lot of energy and a lot of force, and sometimes the pine trees here in Tallahassee don't sustain those winds.
Absolutely, and in some cases it almost becomes fatal. We had one death in Houston this past Monday due to some wind damage.
Yeah, and that was mainly due to, again, that wind just blew right over a tree and landed on a car in Houston during a pop-up thunderstorm, not really associated with a front per se, but same idea. Now, we're not going to have to worry about that type of severe weather, but there will be some stronger storms on Tuesday, we think.
Yep, absolutely. So make sure you get those umbrellas dusted off after this week, because we definitely haven't needed them at all this week, but we're going to need them early next week.
But there is a silver lining. This weekend is going to be awesome.
Yep, absolutely. Great beach weather for sure.
Yeah, now, if you want to send us a picture or tell us about any of the events happening around the area, follow us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and watch our show on live stream. We'll be back at 11:30 and 6 o'clock every night this week.
Absolutely. And it has been a great show today. Really not much to talk about in the way of weather, but there's some cool downs coming, which I'm definitely excited about.
Plenty of sunshine, just a few clouds, but we'll have that more tomorrow. I'm meteorologist Jonathan Bellis.
And I'm student meteorologist Matthew Reagan.
Have a great night.